Welcome to The Method, real talk for real people. And this is your announcer, KV Knox, coming straight at you from St. Andrew United Methodist Church, Little Rock. And if you're excited like I am to be here, let me hear you make some noise. This episode of The Method is sponsored by Better Community Development Incorporated, The Business Experts, Denman Hamilton and Associates CPAs, Miss Lady Magazine, and St. Andrew United Methodist Church, Little Rock. It's time for the talking to begin, y'all. You're listening to The Method, real talk for real people.
Hello, welcome to The Method, real talk for real people. I'm Deidre Lee, your host for today's episode. I'm so excited to be here today. So, KV, how's your day been today?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here for The Method. We got a nice show today, I understand.
So are you ready for the talking to begin, you guys?
Of course. Are you ready for the talking to begin?
But before we begin, we'd like to let our listening audience know that The Method, real talk for real people, is based on the 22 questions of personal reflection by the founders of the Methodist movement in America and Great Britain, John and Charles Wesley, when they started their holy club when they were students at Oxford. Each show topic is based on something pertaining to these questions. Today's question is Holy Club Question 17. How do I spend my spare time? So today's show topic is the method to service. Also, for those that are able to log into their Twitter accounts in our studio audience, could you please follow us right now at the method, the number 3. So that is the method, number 3 on Twitter, and you can also follow us on Instagram. While you're following us on Twitter, you have access to ask us questions for open discussion. You can also follow us on Instagram. We're looking forward for your pictures and shout outs for the show. This segment, we're going to talk about the importance of service. In this segment, we're going to talk about the importance of service, but before we go on with the show, we'd like to introduce our listening audience to Sergeant Willie Davis, a program coordinator of the OK program, a law enforcement-based mentoring program which fosters partnerships with police agencies, schools, students, community members, and the faith and business community to provide positive guidance and support to African American males. This program is designed around the high school and middle schools. Through cooperative agreement between the Little Rock Public School and the Little Rock Police Department, the coordinators are provided offices on each school campus so they can have access to the students daily along with their grades and progress reports. He's going to give us some insight on the importance of community service. Let us welcome Sergeant Willie Davis to The Method. Now to move on with this segment, I will read a popular quote by a famous person on the subject of service. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, Mahatma Gandhi. So, KV, so what do you think about this famous quote today?
Well, let's see here. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So I guess in my opinion what that would mean is I need to find myself in other people in the works that I do. So in order to find out who I really am and who my true character is, I need to find that by providing service to others instead of being selfish and doing things for myself at all times. So I'll tell you what, Deidre Lee, why don't we go ahead and go to the audience right now? I understand that we even have some leaders that are present right now in our audience, and let's see what they think about service and also leadership within their communities.
Sure, let's go ahead.
Hello, my name is Alia Briggs, and I'm from Hot Springs, and my opinion is that I think service is very important because when you service people, it humbles you, it makes you a better person, it builds your character, so I think that's important.
Hello everyone, my name is Malik Holmes, and I am from Paragould, and I think service is a really good thing because service can bring anyone happiness, and I love making people happy, so I'll be welcome to serve anyone.
All right. Hi, my name is Tariq Sanders. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I think serving is like giving back.
But that's right, though. Service is about giving back. When you give back, you actually, do you guys feel better about yourselves when you help somebody?
Okay, so do y'all get a warm, fuzzy feeling inside? A sense of accomplishment or something? You feel loved when you volunteer? That's a good perspective.
According to the Corporation of National and Community Service, volunteering has some serious health benefits. Do you know of any that you may want to bring to your attention?
Okay, so Deidre is basically telling us that volunteering is not only good mentally and a good way to build up your resume, but it can give you some health benefits as well when you volunteer in the community. So does anybody have some idea on ways that volunteering can be a benefit to your health?
My name is Kenneth Anderson from Jonesboro, and my opinion on the fact on the matter is when you help someone else, it de-stresses you, which helps you live longer, and it's good for the body.
Yes, it does take away stress when you volunteer in the community. Are there any other physical health benefits to volunteering? Did y'all know? Oh, you got one?
Volunteering can also calm you.
It does.
And it also brings happiness to your life.
Very good. Yes, that is so true. When we volunteer in the community, it does take down signs and symptoms of high blood pressure, and it also decreases anxiety and depression, and it does bring you joy and happiness. And it's also been scientifically proven through the Mayo Clinic and various other scientific groups around the country that people who volunteer, do you know that they live longer lives? I mean, that's something to really think about. If you help people, you live longer.
Man, you guys, it's been a blast, but we got to take a break and hear from our sponsors. But before we go on break, I have one question. Do y'all like the method? You're listening to The Method, Real Talk for Real People, on 88.3 KABF, the voice of the people.
Like The Method? Then follow us all the time. Like The Method on Facebook, hit us up on Instagram, or follow us on Twitter at The Method Podcast. It's easy. By doing this, you are empowered to ask our empowerment guest questions, give us immediate feedback on the show, gain access to empowerment information, see listings of the music used for the show, and post pictures and shout-outs. We look forward to your posts and tweets. Thanks for supporting The Method, Real Talk for Real People.
Hello, I'm Yaya, and after spending the whole weekend playing with my grandchildren, it is a blessing to share the Monday night community meal at St. Andrew. It fills us up with food and friendship, and I don't have to wash the dishes. And what grandmother doesn't like a Monday night full of great food, friendship, and free prayer offered in English and Spanish? Come on out for free food and prayer every Monday from 6 to 6:45 at St. Andrew United Methodist Church, 4600 Baseline Road. For more information, call 501-562-1891 or visit our website at www.standandrew.umc.arumc.org. You can follow us on Facebook. Just tell them you heard about it from Yaya.
SMU Perkins School of Theology is more than just a theological school. It's a community of people who want to improve the quality of life for people. Perkins School of Theology is committed to the mission of preparing men and women for ministry in church and society. You don't have to be a pastor to be a student. There are several degree programs that you may want to choose from. Not only is Perkins one of the leading theological schools in North America, but it's a place that supports and nurtures students like me to fulfill our passions, to serve with creativity, innovation, and urgency. If you're interested in discerning your call in your life, please contact the admissions office at 1-888-THEOLOGY or email your interest at theology@smu.edu. Herbert Coleman would love to talk to you. This is Dina Hamilton, Masters of Divinity student here at Perkins, and I am so glad that Perkins School of Theology supports the method Real Talk for Real People.
Well, for this segment, we'll be talking about the importance of getting young people involved in the community. Here's what actress/singer Brandy Norwood has to say on the subject. The idea of kids helping other kids is such a great way to introduce children to being involved in charitable causes and volunteer work, setting them on the path of doing good for others throughout their lives. Well, do you have anything to say about this quote?
Yes, I do. When the staff and crew was doing research for the method, that quote caught some people's eyes because I have been a parent, and I think you agree that when I serve in the community, does my child serve with me?
I've seen her around serving. She's throughout the church, throughout her local community, and also at her school.
Okay, so what has she done in her local community and school?
I just see her help, where help is needed. She doesn't mind helping.
Okay, so do you see the benefit of parents showing their children how to serve in the community? Has that developed you into a leader?
Yes, it has.
Okay, let's go into the studio audience and see what kind of feedback that we have. MC Blue Jokes, what you think about kids serving in the community?
I mean, I think it's vital. If you're going to tell kids that it takes a village to raise a child, the children have to be active participants in the village. And if you're going to train them to be leaders of tomorrow, you must first teach them how to serve today, because all leaders must serve.
All right, is there anything else that anybody in our studio audience would like to add to this?
Hello, my name is Antonio Walker. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, and I think it's important for a child to serve in a community with their parents is to show other children that it show great leadership to help their parents and serve in the community.
KV, I'm going to turn the show back over to you because we have a special guest teach us about the importance of service.
That's right. Today we have Sergeant Willie Davis with the Little Rock Police Department, who is here to talk to us about service and how we can be of a service to the police department and also in our own communities.
For those of you who are not aware, I'm Sergeant Willie Davis. I'm a lifelong resident here in the city of Little Rock. Born and raised, a graduate of Hall High School, where I attended in 1983, was blessed to get a football and track scholarship to go to college for free, and I attended UCA. I actually got a teaching degree, and so I was a teacher before I was a cop, actually. After returning back to Little Rock, I enrolled in UALR, and where I pursued a master's degree in criminal justice. So I have a master's degree in criminal justice, and that led me to being a police officer. There was a police officer in one of my graduate classes, so I'd never given any thought about being a police officer. It just happened that way, and that was 25 years ago. I'm currently assigned to a program called OK. It's the acronym for Our Kids. It's a law enforcement-based mentoring program for African-American males between the ages of 12 and 18. And what our main goal is to work toward reducing the high incarceration and homicide rate among black males. And so we do that by encouraging good citizenship and GPAs, and as a result of that, we take these young men on nice trips and outings each quarter. And so it's a rewarding position. It's hard work, but it's hard work. I wouldn't trade it for anything. This position has given me an opportunity to mentor, to encourage, to use my power as an influence to encourage black males in the community.
I actually like what you said. You said it's not hard work, but it's hard work.
It is hard work, H-A-R-D, but it's H-A-R-T work.
Yeah, I like it. That's what service is. Well, Sergeant Davis, I have a couple of questions to ask you here. When we were doing our research for the show, we discovered that volunteering solves problems in the community, but it also makes us stronger by connecting people together, and it improves us transforming lives. Mm-hmm. So why do you think, better yet, why do you agree on the benefits of volunteering?
Well, first of all, when you think about the art of the act of actually volunteering, particularly if it's your community, it allows the youth, males and females, an opportunity to embrace and buy into their own community and or neighborhood. I think before I got on air, y'all were talking about the importance of it, and is it important for young people to be involved in volunteerism, and I think that's important too, but that actually starts in our homes, in our families. You know, when we as young kids, our mother asks us to clean the yard, wash dishes, take out the trash, and things like that. It gets us that edge and that idea of serving. And so serving is the idea, because when you take ownership of your neighborhood or community, it offends you. Actually, if someone walking down your block and they throw a piece of paper, bubble gum wrap, honey bun wrap, you know. Now, what do you do with that feeling is a totally different thing. If you can encourage that person to pick it up, or to talk about the importance of keeping your neighborhood clean, or helping out in some way, form, or fashion. So I think it is important.
Also today, in today's news, as you guys can see, it's been a lot going on with the police department, you know, negative responses and negative actions and how people are taking to it. With you being a police officer, how do you think we can help you guys help the community instead of it, you know, with the police brutality thing?
Yeah, I think this is a two-part relationship. I think that there's some things certainly that we as a police department has to do. When you're talking about across the country, and the relationship between the black community and the police department has been adversarial for years. So this is nothing new. So we have to first acknowledge some things that we have done wrong, apologize for some things that we didn't get right, and own up to some things that are not right. Whether that be training, sensitivity training that helps us to understand each other. And then there's some things we have to do as a community and with our families. That's a whole different conversation to have in terms of rearing and raising our kids, respecting law and authority. Because you have to recognize one of the things, important things, is that people tend not to see us as real people. We have kids that give us trouble. We have insurance that's due. We have bills we have to pay. And if you shoot me, I'll probably bleed. You cut me, I'll probably die. And so people don't look at us like that because of this robotic state that we have. So I think gardening those relationships and understanding that we need each other to survive, to make things work. I'll give you an example. If you ask people if we solve crimes, they'll probably tell you, yeah. But we actually don't. People help us solve crimes. If someone shoots somebody, I'm not there. I have to ask a question. That person has to say, yeah, I saw it. That's who did it. And if they don't do that, it won't get solved. Right. And so then there's another issue with the community and us, and then snitching, and you got that thing going on. But we have to understand that we need each other to make our neighborhood safe, to respect one another, and to understand the differences. What our young people see through their lens, their world, our view, versus what we see. But I think respect goes both ways in that light.
Hey, Dee, how about getting some questions from our studio audience? Do you think we can do that real quick to end the segment?
Yes, I want to hear the voice of the young people.
We want to hear the voice of the people.
Can I say something right quick?
Yes, sir.
And I really want y'all to ask questions. You want to offend me? Please, don't sit there being quiet because I'm the police, man. Ask questions.
You said, don't be quiet because I'm the police. Uh-oh. What? You not scared of the police? Don't be scared. They are friends.
My name is Romerica Wilson. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. And I want to know, I understand some police help out, but you know how Officer Norman is. He help out with the community. He play ball in a park with all the young kids. You see him on Facebook, on Twitter. He's even national-wide. First, it was little because I grew up with him, so I know how he is. And now it's you see it all on Twitter, Instagram about Officer Norman. And I want to know why more policemen is not, doing that with children in the community. Maybe they'll help the community out.
It's probably akin to why everybody in the world are not good people. You have a certain element of society that's going to be lawbreakers and law abiders. That's going to be. You have to understand also that what we do is a calling. Everybody is not designed or fit to be a Tommy Norman. You may have someone that's into writing tickets, that part of it, chasing bad guys. Tommy Norman has a special gift, loving someone else's children, and that's not easy sometimes. He's a real good friend of mine. I admire the work he's doing over there, and I think some people should be helping him. They look like us, but he's still doing it. So a lot of what we do is God stuff, and so it's hard to explain to you or to express to you why every officer is not doing that, because I recognize that I'm a servant of you all, and y'all deserve to tell me the kind of service you want in your community, on your block, in your neighborhood. In that respect, I think that for the most part, there are more good officers than bad ones. To answer your question regarding the Tommy Normans of society, man, I wish we had more, but unfortunately we don't. But we do have some officers that do some good things.
Are there any more questions from the audience?
How has, the high rate of brutality, in the past year, how has that affected you, considering you're an officer?
It hasn't had a huge impact on me from my work perspective. Perspective from the community is a concern of mine, because I'm concerned about how the young people are viewing it and what they're seeing. What's most irritating sometimes is that when the people that are bosses of mine, what I mean, the people that are in the executive positions like chiefs and those people that don't want to acknowledge some things that we are doing wrong as a department and work toward fixing those things. So you have so much stuff that happens, and you all don't always understand that when someone does something that's clear to you that is wrong, then they'll say, we're investigating, and you're waiting on this investigation with patience, only to find out that he was cleared. And that's frustrating a lot of times for you all. So that concerns me more than anything. What I do as an officer doesn't concern me, because I know who I am, what I do. I live in my community where I work for 25 years. I don't hide. I don't wear disguises. And I think it's all about how you treat people.
What's your thought against officers assaulting pedestrians and then getting away with it and not getting fired? They still come back and get paid.
I think it's wrong. I think anytime, and it doesn't have to be an officer. It can be a regular citizen. It could be a person at another job. It could be community people. Anytime someone is assaulted or assaults someone and it's wrong and they get up on it, it's not good for anybody. It's not good for you as a person to see it. It's not good for the community, particularly when it relates to our job as law enforcement officers who we're sworn to serve and protect you. And that's what you expect. You don't expect me to. I'm not sworn to beat you and mistreat you, because I have that authority. So it's discouraging, to know that it takes place and that people have videoed, and we've seen things like that happen. Even videos have gotten officers off when we know clearly that it wasn't the right thing to do. So I'm concerned about it, brother. I'd lie if I told you I wasn't, because it irritates me.
I kind of have like a second part question to that, because like in Baltimore, how the people like revolted, rebelled, and in places like that, I heard that they actually just signed up like 30, 40, like a large group of more officers that probably aren't very trained. They don't know if they have the like psychology test, and these officers are probably more unstable to be in the field. I was wondering how you felt about that.
You said officers are unstable?
Right, that probably didn't go through the proper procedures to be an officer.
I can't say they didn't go through the proper procedures. I can tell you this: there are mechanisms in place that we have to go through backgrounds and psychological tests. And you may be right. Some of them are getting through them. And you see these guys, particularly the one that I remember, this one that shot the guy that said he stole his taser. I mean, you look at a guy like that. I remember the first time I saw his picture, and my first thought was, man, he looked crazy. Whether that was right or wrong, but that's how when I saw his picture, he just looked crazy. Now, you can't fire me based on the fact that I look crazy. I have to do something. So there are some things that has caused me some concerns in terms of the backgrounds and how they're actually squeezing through. Or are these officers doing things, because generally when things happen, they'll find something in the past that they did, they got a slap on the wrist about, and they just overlooked it. So that's a concern. So I think there's some things we can do differently in terms of recruitment, background checks, and make it a little more harder for us to wear these uniforms.
So Sergeant Davis, us as the people, how can we help you guys make, like certain situations better? Let's say something happened and a fight breaks out and everybody's rowdy. How do we keep the community, our people, calm? Like, how do we help you guys?
I think one of the things, and this young lady pointed it out. She said something about Officer Norman, and she said she remembered, some things. So I think you take those nuggets and you remember the Tommy Normans in your life, and when you have friends, associates that want to go against the police, you can always step up and say, no, all police is not like that. I remember this, I remember that. Also, you can encourage each other. Peer pressure, it's a heavy thing now. There's so much going on. It's hard to convince young people that, no, this is not what it is. This is what we can do. If you can channel that anger that you feel, and I'm still confused about the fact that a white officer can shoot a black person, and as a result of that, we burn down buildings and break in liquor stores and steal alcohol. I'm confused by that because I don't understand how that equates to that and how is that fixing anything. Right. What I want to encourage you to do, if you're upset about it, rally in a positive way, talk about it, discuss it, dialogue about it, and how can you help fix this problem? Because we need each other. I need you to tell me who shot little Leroy on the block. I need you to tell me that. I don't need you to say, man, I ain't no snitch, because when it becomes your little brother or sister, you want somebody to tell it.
Yes.
And so I
want justice.
We need that, but we also need you to hold us accountable when things are wrong.
Yes.
There are avenues that you can take. There are places you can go. There are internal affairs when you feel like you're being wrong. There are laws you can obtain, and you have one of the biggest rights you ever want to have, and that's to be silent. And we have a hard time doing that. Yeah, we have a hard time doing that. So I want to encourage y'all to hold the police accountable. Don't get in your mind that, well, it's not going to happen to him. He's the police. Don't buy into that. You have rights. You have human rights. That's the most important thing.
So, Sergeant Davis, I have a question. We have a lot of youth that are here, and a lot of leaders and soon-to-be leaders here within the community that you're looking at. So if they wanted to, I guess, even get a group started, or what could they do? Like, I'm sure many of them don't even know about town hall meetings and things like that. You mentioned them having a voice. Talk to them just a little bit more about how to use their voice strategically in order to help their community.
There's a city access channel On TV, they have flashes of dates and times and meetings that occur. But every Tuesday, they have a city board meeting, okay? Or every other Tuesday, because they have an agenda meeting, they have the actual board meeting. And watch some of those meetings sometime. On a Tuesday, starting about 6 o'clock, just watch and see what the dialogue is and what it's about, because they're making decisions about your community that may impact you in a certain way. Okay, there are things you can get involved in your church if you have churches, in community centers if you have those. There are things consistently going on throughout the city. Neighborhood association meetings, that if you live in certain neighborhoods, they have what they call neighborhood alert centers, but they have associations that you can attach yourself to just to learn. I mean, if you don't want to talk, just sit and listen. Learn from what they're saying. Learn how city government works. How many of y'all know who the mayor of the city of Little Rock is? Yeah. How many of y'all know who the city manager is? Yeah. How many of y'all know what color the police chief is? Yeah.
Well, he African American. I know that one.
Yeah. But you'll be surprised to know that our youth don't know all of that.
Okay.
So it's important that they do know. These people that are making decisions about our city and our city government that impacts you ultimately. Like putting bicycle lanes in the street, and why? You want to ask those questions. How may it impact you? A speed bump in your neighborhood, those kinds of things. You want to know, well, if I put my garbage out here, who going to pick it up? Or how can I put some furniture out here? Who going to pick that up? What time do they get it? Those kind of things are important for you all to know.
Well, you guys, it's time to wrap it up. Sergeant Davis, thank you so much for coming by and talking to us about service and police safety. And since you're a Hall High alum, so am I, so shout out to the Warriors.
What?
Yeah.
All about Parkview up in here.
Well, guess what? You ain't on the hall table now, are you?
And then I'll have to bring Central into the mix. Hold
Well,
on.
guess what? But guess what?
What?
This is a Warrior table.
PV.
Warriors.
PV.
All right, you guys, you have been listening to The Method, Real Talk for Real People on 88.3 KABF, the voice of the people, and the people have spoken. We'd like to ask our executive producer, Mrs. Kristen Knox, to give us some words of wisdom and sum up the show for us.
This has been a great show, and I got to remind you that this episode of The Method is sponsored by Better Community Development Incorporated, restoring lives and rebuilding communities. The Business Experts, Denman, Hamilton, and Associate CPAs. Make an appointment with the Business Experts today. Miss Lady Magazine, where we are, where you are. And St. Andrew United Methodist Church, where we are people helping people. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Method 3. Executive producer, Kristen Veazey Knox. Produced by Deborah Bell, A. Marie Jones, Chester Ray Jones, C.E. McAdoo, and William Robinson Jr. Technical director, Doug Pierce and T.J. Macklin. Technical support provided by St. Andrew United Methodist Church. This episode of The Method was hosted by Deidre Lee and is written and created by Dina Marie Hamilton. If you want to make a difference in the community, do it by following the G Code. Do no harm, do as much good as you can, and be a good person and neighbor. That's the Methodist way, and it can be yours too. This is your announcer, KV Knox, thanking you for your support and being down with the Method. This is The Method, real talk for real people. This is an Opportunity Knox production.
The staff and crew of The Method has analytically formulated this empowerment message for you. One of the 22 questions of personal reflection from the Wesley Brothers Holy Club is question number 22. Is Christ real to me? Well, guess what? I'm going to answer that question. Christ is real to me because I have the assurance of God's love, and that's why I courageously serve God and God's people. Christ is real to me because my faith has allowed for me to overcome trials and circumstances in my life. And finally, you are a part of the reason why Christ is real to me. Because Christ is real to me, you're listening to The Method, real talk for real people on 88.3 KABF, the voice of the people. This is Dina Marie Hamilton, and I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. And I am so glad to be a part of The Method, real talk for real people.